I almost drank the water my son handed me. Almost. But yesterday, I found the life insurance policy in his drawer, a $2 million payout, but only if my death was accidental. Suddenly, the bitter taste in my tea made sense. The family hikes in remote areas, the way my daughter-in-law kept rescheduling my doctor's appointments. They weren't caring for me. They were staging my death. So I did what any loving mother would do. I played along. And by the time they realized I was 10 steps ahead, it was too late. That was just the cover story. Like for the truth. Subscribe, it's about to get real. Here's what really happened to Margaret Dawson. I wasn't always like this. Funny how life flips on you. A year ago, I was the mom who'd bake cookies just because, who'd Venmo Tyler rent money without asking questions. The kind of woman who thought family first meant giving until it hurt, and then giving some more. 64, retired teacher, widowed too young, raised my boy alone after his dad's crash, changed every diaper, paid every bill, even moved into the damn guest room when he married Anna. You kids take the master! And God, I loved feeling needed. Then came the little things. Anna's extra strong tea that tasted off. Tyler suddenly insisted, "Mom, you're getting confused," when I forgot nothing. That life insurance policy, $2 million if I died accidentally. That's when it hit me. They weren't protecting me. They were preparing me. So I did what any betrayed mother would do. I smiled wider, cooked bigger meals. "Of course you can manage my finances, sweetheart." And while they patted themselves on the back, I started planning. Because here's the secret no one tells you. The nicest people? We're the most dangerous when pushed. I should have seen it coming. After all, what kind of retired teacher doesn't notice when her own life's being rewritten? First, the nighttime tea rituals. Anna would hover as I drank, her smile not reaching her eyes. "Helps you sleep," she'd say, but I'd wake up groggy, my mouth cotton dry, finding whole conversations I couldn't remember. Then Tyler started gaslighting me with surgical precision. "Mom, you told us to handle your finances last week, don't you remember? The doctor said you shouldn't drive anymore. We discussed this." Each lie landed like a soft punch, leaving bruises only I could see. The morning I found my blood pressure pills replaced with look-alike sedatives, my hands shook so badly I dropped the bottle. That's when I started playing their game, leaving fake, forgetful notes for them to find, pretending to take their tainted tea. Then came the conversation I'll never forget. "The life insurance clears in 90 days after the policy," Tyler murmured that night, his back turned as he washed their dinner plates. "We need to time this right." Anna's chilling reply. "The ravine by Pine Ridge would work. They'd rule it accidental." My body went cold. This wasn't just neglect. It was a calculated execution plan. That's when I noticed the hiking boots by the door, already caked with fresh mud. They'd already chosen the spot. The morning they planned to kill me, I made blueberry pancakes. The secret ingredient? Enough sedatives to drop a horse, just like they'd taught me. Pine Ridge wasn't just remote, it was engineered for disappearance. No guardrails, no cell towers. Just a 300-foot drop onto jagged rocks, conveniently visible from the scenic photo spot Tyler had bookmarked on his phone. I'd seen their notes. 9:15 a.m., reach cliff edge. 9:30, let's get a picture, Mom. 9:35, accident. My own son had scheduled my murder between his protein shake and lunch. Anna hummed as she packed my hiking boots that morning, the same tune she'd sung while doctoring my tea for months. I watched her pink manicured fingers lace the shoes extra tight, like she was making sure I wouldn't run. Tyler's goodbye kiss smelled like the protein powder he'd mixed into my smoothie. I counted his swallows versus mine, 3 for him, 1 pretend sip for me. His eyes tracked the glass like a hawk. They were so confident, so careless. I left the half-finished drink in the sink, watching the thick liquid coat the stainless steel. Later, I'd find Tyler angrily scrubbing it clean. No evidence, no witnesses. The trailhead sign warned, "Dangerous cliffs, stay on path." Tyler snapped a selfie in front of it. Anna kept up her cheerful act. Just a little further, Mom. The view's amazing up ahead. Her hand guiding me felt like a cattle prod. I played my part perfectly, pretended to trip where the path narrowed. Accidentally dropped my water bottle near the edge. Let Tyler rescue me with that vice-like grip. When we reached the lookout, the wind whipped my hair across my face. Anna positioned me with the precision of a film director. One step back. No, one more. Perfect. That's when I saw it. A fresh scrape in the dirt where someone had tested their footing. They'd scouted this spot. I turned suddenly, catching Tyler's outstretched hands. Your father's life insurance cleared in 48 hours, I said calmly. Strange for an accidental drowning, don't you think? His pupils dilated. He knew I knew. Anna's camera shutter clicked, capturing his panic. I smiled for the next shot, whispering, Tell me, dear, does the policy pay double for 2 accidents? The blood drained from her face. 3 a.m. Their bedroom whispers carried through the vents. We'll do it tomorrow, Tyler hissed. Car crash. No more hiking bullshit. I crept to his laptop, still warm. Best impact angle for driver-side collisions. How long does antifreeze take to work? Inheritance laws for only children. The last search froze my blood. Does suffocation show an autopsy if done before crash? As dawn broke, I stirred extra thick syrup into their pancakes, just how they liked it. The amber liquid swirled smoothly, hiding the bitter truth. Bon appetit, children. The morning after spiking their pancakes, I watched my son struggle to lift his coffee cup. His hands shook like an old man's, my little boy. The child I'd rocked through fevers, whose skinned knees I'd kissed. Now his bloodshot eyes blinked at me, confused why his body was betraying him. Anna fared worse. Her perfect manicure slipped on her orange juice glass, staining her white blouse. Just need more sleep, she slurred. That's when I realized I could still name every scar on Tyler's body, but he couldn't recognize poison in his own breakfast. I almost reached to wipe Anna's spill. Almost. Then I found the credit card statement in the trash. $200. First-class tickets to Maui. Departure next Thursday. $14,500. Custom Rolex, engraved, to the future widower. All charged to my emergency fund. All dated after they'd taken out the life insurance. That night, Anna came to my room with chamomile tea, the wrapper peeking from her pocket. Valerian root, dangerous with heart medication. She'd read my medical files. I poured it into the fern when she left. The plant would be dead by morning. Hope dies slowly, but certainty? That hits like a shovel to the chest. I called Richard at 3 a.m., Jim's best friend, the man who'd built my son's first treehouse. I need 2 things, I whispered, a lawyer and Jim's old hunting cabin. No questions, just, I'll bring the shotgun. By dawn, I'd packed, clothes, documents, their toothbrushes, hair from their brushes, Tyler's favorite whiskey glass. The note I left said only, check policy number 44782, because while they'd been dosing my tea, I'd been editing their beneficiary forms. Let's see who's worth more dead now. Running would have been too easy. I wanted them to watch everything they loved crumble first. The cabin welcomed me with the scent of gun oil and pine needles. Richard had Jim's rifle waiting on the oak table. For nostalgia, he'd said. But my real weapons were quieter, sharper. Tyler's forged power of attorney burned in my pocket. What he didn't know? Page 3, paragraph 9. This document becomes void if the grantor's medical records show evidence of poisoning. I uploaded 3 months of audio files to a cloud labeled Life Insurance Policy, number 44782, supporting documents. Anna's voice came through crystal clear. The coroner will blame it on her heart medication. With one click, I emailed it to my lawyer, the state insurance commissioner, the fraud department at Tyler's bank. Funny thing about digital footprints, they never really wash off. Their $2 million policy now listed two beneficiaries: St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, 85%, Richard Dawson, family friend, 15%. The notarized amendment was backdated to before their hiking trip. Yesterday, an anonymous tip triggered a fraud investigation. By noon, their agent left a panicked voicemail. Urgent. Policy under review for material misrepresentation. Anna's pristine medical license? I packaged evidence with surgical precision. Bottles of my sleep aids with her fingerprints. Pharmacy records showing her unusual sedative purchases. A timeline matching my sudden memory lapses. The medical board's subpoena arrived at her office that afternoon. They thought they were hunters. Turns out they were lab rats, and I'd just cut funding to their maze. One call to Visa's fraud line. Yes, those first-class tickets to Maui were unauthorized. The system froze $78,000 in charges. Tyler's credit score imploded before he finished his morning coffee. Judge Wilkins stamped the paperwork without looking up. Activation trigger? Their BMW crossing the county line, I said. The GPS tracker I'd slipped under their car would handle the rest. Attorney Goldstein's pen hovered over my new will. You're certain? On his desk, a silver frame held Tyler at 7, gap-toothed, holding a blue ribbon for the science fair I'd stayed up 3 nights helping him build. My fingers trembled. Then I remembered the Rolex engraving, to the future widower. Anna's chamomile tea, tested positive for benzodiazepines. The freshly dug soil near Pine Ridge's cliff edge. I slid a manila envelope across the table. Inside, a positive paternity test. Tyler wasn't Jim's son. A deed transferring the house to Richard. One final instruction. Release these when the life insurance pays out. Let's see who inherits hell. Karma doesn't send invoices, it delivers receipts. The first domino fell at 9:07 a.m. when Tyler's corporate Amex declined at Starbucks. By noon, his face was trending on Twitter. Security footage of him screaming at bank tellers captioned, "elder abuser." The comment section became a feeding frenzy. Anna's downfall smelled like antiseptic and shame. The hospital board moved swiftly. Monday, suspension. Wednesday, DEA audit. Friday, the Boston Globe. Headline: Promising surgeon linked to patient poisoning case. Funny how fast white coats stain. The insurance investigator's call was my personal highlight. Mrs. Dawson, this policy has more red flags than a bullfighting convention. I sipped my tea. How peculiar. The sheriff's GPS alert chimed at 4:32 p.m. Their BMW crossed the county line, triggering the restraining order. I watched from the cabin window as Tyler stumbled up the path. His Armani suit wrinkled, his confidence evaporated. Anna hid behind oversized Chanel sunglasses, but her trembling hands betrayed her. The deputy served them with criminal summons, attempted murder, Class A felony, asset seizure orders, divorce papers Richard had helpfully filed on Tyler's behalf. I extended the manila envelope slowly. For your attorney. Tyler's bloodshot eyes widened at the contents. Paternity test, 0% biological match. Deed transferring their house to Richard Jim's handwritten letter about Anna's affair, dated 2 weeks before his accident. Anna's shriek shattered the silence. This is blackmail. No, dear, I corrected. There are consequences. That night, Richard found me on the porch. The valley below twinkled with indifferent lights. Somewhere out there, my son and his wife were learning what rock bottom truly meant. You okay? He asked, handing me real chamomile tea. I watched steam curl into the cold air. Did you know Tyler failed chess in 7th grade? Never learned to think 3 moves ahead. Richard chuckled. Kids are always impulsive. Like his father, I murmured. The radio played softly as headlights disappeared down the mountain. A news bulletin interrupted. Update on the Dawson case. DA confirms life insurance proceeds will fund elder abuse prevention programs. I turned the volume down. Not out of malice, not even satisfaction. Just quiet acknowledgement that the game was over. And I'd played my final move. Justice didn't come with prison sentences or front-page news. It came in the silence of a phone that never rang and checks that never cleared. People ask if I miss my son. I miss the child who built Lego castles, not financial traps. The man he became? That stranger died long before I buried his schemes. Anna's mother sent a letter last month. I burned it unread. Some fires purify. They say living well is the best revenge. But true freedom? That's when you stop keeping score. My garden thrives now. The tomatoes grow plump without poison. The chamomile blooms without betrayal. At night, the stars look brighter without city lights, or lies, to dim them. Sometimes I wonder if Tyler ever checks the obituaries for my name. Let him. The woman they wanted dead no longer exists. What remains is simpler. A woman who sleeps without pills, a house without ghosts, a life where the only thing sharpened is her pruning shears. The cabin door stays unlocked these days, not because I trust again, but because I finally know what deserves to walk through it.